Rust? Alright, that's easy. Rust happens when metal gets wet. Water touches iron, iron turns brown. That's it. Simple high. So, if water causes rust, then why doesn't my steel Almirah rust? It gets wet every monsoon when the wall leaks. And it's totally fine. Wait.
Good wait, Golu. Here's the real puzzle. Your cycle, left on the balcony, turns into a brown, flaky mess every single monsoon. But your steel Almirah, sitting in the same damp house, stays shiny for years. Same metal family, same wet air, one rusts, one doesn't.
Because the Almirah is better steel.
Closer than you think. But that's the answer, not the reason. Let me ask you one thing first. If water alone caused rust, what about the steel spoon sitting inside a glass of water, fully underwater, days later, barely any rust? How?
Because, it's the most wet. It should be the most rusty.
Exactly. So water alone isn't the culprit. Let's find who is. First truth. Rust is not iron getting wet. Wet iron dries, and it's still iron. Rust is something new. Iron plus oxygen plus water reacts. The atoms rearrange and form a brand new brown substance, iron oxide. That's rust. You cannot dry it back into iron. It's gone.
So it's like the iron becomes something else?
Precisely. That's a chemical reaction. In your NCERT, this exact type has a name, oxidation. Iron loses to oxygen, and when a metal slowly gets eaten this way, we call it corrosion.
So rust is iron corroding, not iron getting a bath.
Now you're thinking. Second truth, and this is the one exams love. Rust needs two things at the same time, not one. Oxygen from the air and water, both together.
Both? But the spoon underwater had lots of water.
Lots of water, but very little air. Oxygen struggles to reach iron sitting deep in still water. One ingredient missing, no rust. Now flip it. Iron in a bone-dry desert. Plenty of air, no moisture. Again, one ingredient missing, barely rusts. Ancient iron pillars in dry climates have survived 1,000 years.
And the monsoon.
The monsoon gives iron both at once, wet air, moisture and oxygen hugging your cycle all day. It's not a bath, it's the perfect crime scene.
Oh, so my cycle rusts because monsoon air has water and oxygen. The spoon didn't rust because it was missing the air. It's like rust needs to pick two locks to get in. Miss one lock, it's stuck outside.
Golu. That's a very good way to remember it.
The double lock. Rust needs to open both, air and water. Hold one lock shut and iron is safe.
Keep that. The double lock. Anytime an exam asks, what does rusting need? You hear two clicks. Air, water. Both or no rust.
So then, my Almirah?
Now you can answer your own question. If rust needs both locks open, how do you stop rust?
Shut one lock. Keep the air or the water away from the iron.
That's the whole science of rust prevention. Every method is just block one lock. Paint on a gate. Blocks air and water from touching iron. Grease on your cycle chain. Same. Oil. That thin shiny layer. Same idea.
And the Almirah has paint.
Your Almirah has a tough coating, sealing the iron away from wet air. And better Almirahs are made of stainless steel. Iron mixed with a metal called chromium. Chromium forms an invisible shield on the surface that air and water simply cannot get past. The lock is permanently held shut. Your cycle, its chain is bare. Its paint is chipped from falls and scratches. Wherever iron peeks out, both locks spring open and the monsoon walks right in.
So the Almirah isn't magic. It just never lets the air and water meet the iron. My poor cycle has 100 open doors.
Same metal, different armor. And here's why this isn't just balcony trivia. This is Class 10 Science, Chapter 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations. Rusting is the textbook example of corrosion. one of the effects of oxidation reactions in everyday life.
बोर्ड एग्जाम में मिलते हैं बच्चों. A little question, 1 mark. Rusting of iron requires the presence of blank. Fill in the blank, clever boy.
Water. Rusting needs water. Simple hai.
Water! He says water! 1 word! Half marks gone and he doesn't even...
Not so fast, Professor. Golu. 2 clicks. What did the double lock teach you?
Air. I forgot the air. Rusting needs air and water. Both together. Not just water.
No, not both. Everyone writes only water. It always works.
Not on students who understand instead of memorize. Air and moisture, or oxygen and water. Both together. That's the full mark.
You got lucky, Chalkman. Next chapter, they will forget to balance the equation.
Not with the double lock, they won't.
Rust isn't about getting wet. It's iron losing to both air and water. And every prevention trick is just shutting 1 lock. Remember that, and you'll never lose that mark. Ratta nahi. Samjho.
I'm gonna go grease my cycle chain. 1 lock, shutting now.
Free 1-page revision sheet for this chapter, the double lock, the conditions, and the prevention methods. Link in the description below. Please like this video, subscribe for more videos, and share it with your friends.